Hello children, very good morning. I hope you all are fit and fine. Children, in today's video lesson, we are going to start our first chapter in science. That is, first chapter name is the living world adaptation. So, here in this living world adaptation and classification, before starting our first chapter, we will introduce you our syllabus related to science. Students, in our science textbook, there are 20 chapters. There are 20 chapters. Out of this 20 chapter, during first semester, we are going to take 10 chapter. Before semester exam, we will complete 10 chapter. So, in our first chapter, we will continue that the living world adaptation and classification. Children, we are expecting that you all should purchase the textbook. So children, here in this first chapter, as we had discussed about the syllabus of science, there are 10 chapters for first semester and remaining 10 chapters are there for second semester. And these 10 chapters are for 50 marks. So, in that, here living world, everyone, you all are aware what you mean by living world. The organism who are living means life is there. That is called living world. So children, here in our first chapter, let's recall in what different ways is the diversity in living thing seen. So here in our first sentence only, question is there, in what different ways. So a great variety of plant is found on the earth. Then some plants have colorful flowers and some plants grow in water. First of all, when we will take flowers, so many color of flowers are there. We are seeing some flowers are colorful. Even we are seeing some flowers are colorless. Means any color or white color, like that color will be there. Colorful as well as white color flowers are there. As well as next one is some plants grow in water, whereas some are to be found in deserts. Now here water, related to water, aquatic plants, and some animals are found in deserts where the water are not there, in dry land, which have a scarcity of water. Meaning of desert, that is scarcity of water. Some plants are found only in snowy region. Children, as we are seeing in our around, so many types of plants are there. But there are some plants which one only grow in the snowy regions. Some plants cannot seen without a microscope. Microscope when we are using whenever we cannot see with our naked eye. Therefore, we are using microscope. So children, there are some plants which one we can't see with the help of naked eye, and because of that one we are taking the help of microscope, whereas some are used in size. Huge in size means some plants are there which one is very big in size. Like plants, animals to show diversity. Children, like plants we had observed, some are very small, tiny, and because of that one we can't see them. We are using microscope. But as well as some are very huge. In the same way, in our human being or in animals also, we are observing the same thing. Means some of us are very small, some of us are big. Out of that, some are unicellular. Unicellular means having one cell in their body. Others multicellular. In the same place, some animals, which one is huge, which one is big, they are having multicellular. Here that word is there, multicellular. Some are vertebrates, whereas others are invertebrates. Children, here two words are there. Vertebrate means those who are having backbone, that is called vertebrates animals. And invertebrate, the animals those who are not having backbone. The such type of animals are called invertebrates. After that, this world is full of a variety of animals: aquatic, terrestrial, amphibian, reptilian, aerial, etc. This observation give rise to the question, how did this great diversity come into being? Means who had described that aquatic animals are there, terrestrial animals are there, amphibian as well as reptile animals are there. So children, here we are going to observe one by one what is the difference between all these animals and on their living. Related to this point, we will discuss little bit things over here. For example, first one, aquatic plants. Aquatic, we can take children, plants as well as animals also. For example, fish we will take, aquatic animal, fish. In that, fish have adapted to their environment through the evolution of gills. For example, the living being, they required oxygen for their breathing. So, according to their figure, they are observing such type of adaptation. Here children, one word is there, adaptation. How the animals or plants, they are adapting the nature. Now here, one more thing is there, adapting, that one adaptation. What do you mean by adaptation? Here, gradual changes occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of organisms, which help them to adjust to their surroundings. Such changes are called adaptation. Children, meaning of this one. In the body parts of anything, plants or animals, gradual changes, one after other changes occur in the body parts, also in the behavior of organism. In that living organism, in that the behavior, what they are observing, what they required, such type of behavior, which help them to adjust to their surroundings. Means the animals and plants, where that is there, means that human being, otherwise the plants, where it got, which type of of environment they are getting. Such changes according to that environment, that surrounding, they are changing themselves in that surrounding. That word surrounding and adaptation means changing according to their surrounding. That word is called adaptation. They take place over a long period of time. For adjusting this adaptation, they required long period of time. So children, I hope the word related to our chapter adaptation you understood properly. Next one is there in our book, amphibian. So children, what you aquatic plant or animals you understood. The animals or plant, those who are living in water, are called aquatic plants or animals. Next one is terrestrial. Children, terrestrial means we all, human being, all human being. We all are staying on the land. Means the animals, those who are living on the land, are called terrestrial animals. Third one is amphibian. Children, amphibian means animals live in both water and on land, is called amphibian. For example, guess, frog. Frog living in water as well as living on land also. Therefore, example of amphibian is frog. We all are born and live in water. These frogs are live and born in the water. They breathe using their gills. The adult live on land for part of the time, breathe both through their skin with their lungs. For example, this fish, they are taking their oxygen with the help of gills. Next one, frog, they can take the help of gills when they are living in water. That time they are using their gills for breathing. When they are on land, that time they are using their skin, as well as we people, how we are taking the oxygen with the help of nose. In the same way, amphibians, they can live in water as well as on land. Example of amphibians are frog. Next one, reptilian. Reptilian, the animals, reptiles means they are scrolling. They are, for example, snake. Reptile animals adapted to their scales to help minimize water loss from their bodies. Therefore, they help to protect them from predators. That's why they are reptiles. For example, snake. This type of snake adopted clear scales. Why? They cover and protect their eyes. Now next one is aerial. Aerial animals that are adapted to flying are called aerial animals. For example, all the types of birds, eagle, kites, all the type of birds, they fly on sky. Therefore, whenever these birds fly in the sky, They are using their feather and they have body feather well adapted to flying. Means their feathers are converted. Such type of adaptation they are observing for flying in the sky. For example, birds have streamlined body, narrow neck, pointed beak. Why? Because all these things helps to birds for flying. Even the bird's body is also covered with feathers. This all light body also helps to fly in the sky. So children, here we had completed aquatic, terrestrial, amphibian, reptilian, aerial type of animals and plants. So children, after that one question is there. Are the plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan of the same type? What answer you are expecting? They are, of course, your answer is correct. They are different from one place to another place. Here, if we will take the question, plants and animals from Kashmir and Rajasthan are of course different. Now, different in their plants and animals. First we will take animals. Animals of Kashmir have thick hair. Their hair in their body are thicker, while silver body color with snow. Why? Because they are protecting from the ice. This helps them to get protection in snowy region. As you all knows, in Kashmir, ice are there. With the help of this thick hair, they can protect their body. The animals of Rajasthan have long legs with flat and cushioned soles. The nostrils are protected by folds of skin. Then eyelashes are long and thick. It gives protection from sand and heat. Then in Rajasthan, animals are flat and cushioned sole. Their nostrils help them to protect, and by folds of skin also it giving the protection from sand and heat. So children, this difference is there in Kashmir and Rajasthan animals. Now we will talk about that plants, how the plants are different in Rajasthan and Kashmir. Plants of Kashmir, which is a snowy region, are conical in shape. This one only starting point we are discussing. In our further chapter, this chapter only, further part is there where we are going to discuss all these points in brief. Now, Kashmir's, which one is snowy region? That plants are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. This shape prevents the snow accumulation on the tree, and the thick bark helps the tree to withstand the cold. Barks are very thick. Because of this thick bark, trees are protected from the snowy. But the plants of Rajasthan, which is a desert region, are either leafless or their leaves are small, needle shaped, or have been modified into thorns, so the loss of water can be reduced. The stem stores water and food so that they are fleshy. Means every time whenever they require, they should be in fleshy. The stem performs photosynthesis in the absence of leaves. Why? Because in such type of plants, means Rajasthan, on the plant leaves are not there. Then with the help of stem, they are doing the photosynthesis work. They are preparing their food with the help of photosynthesis and passing to other parts of the plant, other parts of the body parts of the plant. Now next one is here adaptation in plants. So children, here adaptation one by one we will see in plants. Plants in lotus. And which type of plants is this one? Habitat aquatic. Type of root fibrous. Characteristic of leaves large and around, this one round with waxy layer. Leaves of lotus is round and waxy. Now characteristic of stem is hollow and flexible. Hollow means inside the stem nothing is there, means it is empty. Hollow means empty. And flexible, it means we can, if we want to turn it, then we can turn. Next one, cactus and banyan. Both this one you all knows. Cactus, which type of habitat? Desert. Desert. Then type of root. That one I hope you understood the lesson and you can do this one. For cactus, what you will write, children? Here habitat. Stem is green and fleshy. And this one, leaves are reduced or absent because desert, no. That's why in desert area, mostly in the plant, leaves are not there. Means leaves are reduced or you can say absent and they replaced by thorns. Means in desert, leaves are converted into thorns. Thorns means some needle type. You can say that is this one. Thorns are there. Needle type. Means the leaves are converted into thorns. In the same way, you are going to complete banyan tree. So next one, children, adaptation in aquatic plant. Visit various water bodies such as a river, brook, pond, lake in your surroundings. With different do you observe? Here, what difference do you observe between terrestrial and aquatic plant? Children, as we discussed, terrestrial animals and plant, which one is growing on land, or for animals, which one is staying in land. Aquatic, the plants and animals, those who are living in water. So children, here related to both this point we will discuss. Related to first about lotus we will discuss. First point about lotus, some of the aquatic plants are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. Their stems are submerged. Submerged means it is dipped in the water, while leaves and flowers float on the surface. This type of lotus leaves, their stem is submerged, means dipped in the water. Leaves and flowers are out of the surface of water. They are floating on the water. However, from picture also you can understand here. So children, next one. However, some plants are entirely afloat. Their roots are not anchored in the soil. Here, this one for lotus plant, soil is not there. Entirely their body is on the water. The surface of leaves and stems of many aquatic plants are covered with a waxy layer. Leaves of some aquatic plants are thin and slender, like a ribbon. This shape helps them to withstand fast currents of water. Air spaces in stem and petioles of aquatic plants are useful for floating in water. So children, here one by one we will discuss about the leaves and stems of the lotus plants. Here first question is given, why does water trickle off lotus leaves? So in this answer children, water trickles off lotus leaves because it is coated with waxy covering on it. On the leaves no waxy cover is there. Because of this one, this waxy covering, the trickles of lotus leaves is waxy. It is one of the adaptation of aquatic plants. Aquatic plants means this plant is living in water only. To survive in water without getting wet and rot or sink to the bottom. Without weight means wax is there in this type of leaves. That's why the flower and leaves, it can't wait. Other thing, it will not rot, means it will not become damaged because of every time it is in the water only. Because of that one also it will not damage. And why? What is the point? Which one is protecting the flower? That is waxy cover of the leaves. Because of waxy cover of leaves, the flower is protecting. Next one is, why don't the leaves of these plants rot in water? Because it is covered with waxy coating on it, so that they do not get wet. Simple answer. Waxy coating on leaves. Therefore, they do not get wet. Next one. Why are their roots short and fibrous? In this answer, you can give, these plants grow in water, first point. So, the roots do not need to go deep in the search of water. Because those plants are there on the land, their roots go long and long in the search of water inside the land. But here, the lotus itself staying in water. It grow on water. That's why no need to go for search of water. Because it stems deep in the water. And their roots are not anchored. Therefore, these roots not anchored in the soil. So, their roots are short and fibrous. So, children, here we had completed all the points related to our lotus. Here one more question will be there. The lotus stalk has holes or air spaces, where we had discussed hollow space. In that point, the air spaces in stems and petioles of aquatic plants are useful for making them float in water. Got the point? Air space. Air space is there in their stem. Because of that one, petioles of aquatic plants are useful. Why? Because of that one, they can float in water easily. And also, to prevent them from rotting. Therefore, children, the lotus stalk had holes, or you can say air spaces are there, or in one word is there in our textbook, that is hollow. Hollow shape. Therefore, all these reasons are there for lotus. Because of all this reason, lotus plant is not wet and not rot, and even they are not sink to the bottom. So children, here related to this one, we had completed why the lotus leaves are sink to the bottom, and the next one, because of all these reason are there. That is, first reason what we had completed, water trickle of lotus leaves, means it is one of the adaptation of aquatic plants to survive in water without getting wet and rot or sink to the bottom. Second point, because it is covered with waxy coating on it, so they do not get wet. Third point, their roots are not anchored in the soil because easily they are getting water from the surface only. So children, today related to all this point of lotus we had completed. In next class we will see adaptation in desert plants. So I hope that whatever today we had discussed, you all understood. So children, I had put some questions whatever we had discussed today. I expect that you all will write that answers and send done message in your group. So children, take care of yourself, be safe, healthy and happy. Thank you children.